Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another video on morphology of flowering plants. So in this part we are going to talk about general characteristics of stem as well as a modification of stem. So let's start with general characteristics of stem. So as we know that stem develops from plumule of embryo. It present above the ground. It shows a positively phototropic growth, which means it moves towards the source of light. It also shows negatively geotropic growth, means it moves away from the soil or gravitation. It also exhibits negatively hygroscopic growth, which means it moves away from the source of water. So beside this, plant has different parts such as nodes and internodes. So internode is the area in between two nodes, whereas node is responsible for development of branches, leaves, flowers, fruits, birds, etc. So after a general characteristics of stem, let's discuss second point, which is modification of stem. So this point is very important for your exam. So stems are modified to perform specialized functions, and they are modified under three categories such as aerial stem modification, subaerial stem modification, and underground stem modification. So now we will talk about underground stem modification. That means the stems are going to be underground and modified for a specific functions. After we discuss all these examples and types, then we will understand why these stems are underground and what is the significance of this modification. So in this first one is tuber. Let us look at the example so that we can understand what we are talking of. So example for tuber is potato. We all have seen potatoes. And we find some scars or marks on potatoes. So these are actually nodes, and we all know that nodes and internodes are characteristic feature of stem. So if this structure is showing nodes and internodes, means it is a stem. And we also find if potatoes are left for a longer period of time, from here small structures develops, which is actually a growing bird. And this bird would give rise to another new potato plant. Next, when we see the entire potato plant, then we observe that there are branches. So these are branches. which are present underground, and their tips are actually swollen. Tips are swollen. So this swollen tip is known as potato, which is tuber, and it is modified for storage of food in the form of starch. And these underground branches are known as underground stem. So let's discuss some of the characteristic feature of tuber. So they are basically involved in storage of food in the form of starch. They are unbranched, adventitious roots are absent, and they involve in vegetative propagation. So after discussing about tuber, let's move to the another modified underground structure is the rhizome. So these are also underground stem modification. So look at the example first so that we can understand this in a better way. So example for rhizome is ginger, turmeric, banana, and adianthum. So depending on growth of rhizome, they are of two types. First one is vertical rhizome. Second one is horizontal rhizome. So vertical rhizome means it will grow vertically like this inside the ground, and you would find nodes and internodes over here. So these are nodes and this portion is internode. And example for vertical rhizome is banana, then ferns, pineapple, etc. And these vertical rhizomes are generally involved in vegetative reproduction. From their lateral branches. In case of banana, it is known as sucker, small plant. Small plant which develops from underground rhizome is known as sucker in case of banana. Next come to horizontal ribosome. Now, what exactly is meant by horizontal rhizome in case of ginger? When we see ginger, we have seen a main axis. So this is the main axis, and this is a long part which grows horizontally. And ginger consists of uh, two types of buds: terminal bud and lateral bud. So lateral bud gives lateral branches. So as you can see in the picture, these are lateral branches, and these lateral branches maintain horizontal growth, and terminal bud is responsible for development of this leafy shoot. Sometimes they also has these brown lines. So these brown lines are known as nodes, and the space in between these brown lines are known as internode. And node also contains scaly leaves. So scaly leaf means it is dry, then present underground, not involved in photosynthesis. No photosynthesis. So let's discuss about general characteristics of rhizome. So they modified for various functions. So what are these functions? As I already discussed, that they are involved in food storage and vegetative propagation. These structures are condensed and elongated. Bud is present, but it is external. Adventitious roots are also present. They may be branched or unbranched. Then one thing please remember, that adianthum is come under fern. It is also known as walking fern, and this is very important for your NEET examination. So why these plants are known as walking fern? Because they have vertical rhizome. Vertical rhizome, and from this rhizome lateral branches develops. When it touches the ground, adventitious root develops. So these are adventitious roots. Develops, and leafy shoot also develops from this node. So likewise it will spread, or it will grow from one place to another place. So just because of these characteristics, a dianthum is known as walking fern. So I hope you understood what I discussed so far, and in the coming video I'm going to explain another types of underground stem modification. Thank you and goodbye.